Scott against Shepherd was a case heard in the Court of King's Bench in 1773, and it's an important case in the law of intentional torts, and particularly trespass to the person. The events of the case happened at a fair at Milbourne Port in England. Shepherd, who seems to have been a bit of a troublemaker, had what was called a squib, which was like a tightly packed firework containing gunpowder and other flammable materials. Most of the time, a squib would go off and make a big bang and cause havoc, which seems to have been the intention here. Shepherd lit his squib and threw it. It landed on the gingerbread stall of a fellow named Yates, and a bystander named Willis picked it up and threw it away before it could explode. Unfortunately, he threw it onto the gingerbread stall of a fellow named Ryle, who himself then threw the squib, and it exploded and burned the plaintiff, Scott, resulting in the loss of an eye. The question for the court, though, was whether they could really say that Shepherd, by throwing the lighted squib, had caused the harm to Scott. I mean, after all, it went through two other sets of hands. Shepherd didn't throw it at Scott. Justice Blackstone, who was in dissent, set out the principle which all of the judges seemed to agree with. He said, "When the injury is immediate, an action in trespass will lie. Where it is only consequential, it must be an action on the case." And we'd now call an action on the case an action in negligence. The judges differed in how they applied that principle. The majority judges, Justice Nares, Justice Gould and Chief Justice de Grey, found that Willis and Ryle had not acted out of their independent will, but instead they acted instinctively and without thought to defend themselves against the danger of the squib, and that Willis had not thrown the squib at Ryle, nor had Ryle thrown the squib at Scott, but instead they had merely thrown it far from themselves to be rid of the danger. It was all, therefore, the fault of Shepherd. What this case tells us is that there must be a sufficiently direct relationship between the tortious act and the harm which it causes. An intervening action, which they call a novus actus interveniens, will break that causal chain, and the new actor will be responsible for the harm.